everything is easy as we roll through that Buffalo Bills offense. I know that it felt like sweet redemption to many Bills fans to beat down the Patriots, even if Tom Brady is gone. Couple of stats that really jump out at you. From 2000 to 2019, the Patriots won 17 AFC East titles. The Bills won 0. The Patriots won 35 games. The Bills won 5. 20 years of futility going up against Brady and Belichick and company. And then last night, an absolute beatdown going on. Bill Belichick was so upset he was throwing the phone on the sideline, and this game was never really close at all. Several big storylines that I would say are worth paying attention in this game. First of all, I believe the Bills are the biggest threat out there right now to the Kansas City Chiefs and all of the AFC. I think they have the offense behind Josh Allen to be able to put up 30-plus points on anybody. This offense is rolling. Their defense is starting to play at a higher level. And so if you're telling me right now, hey, somebody's going to beat the Chiefs in the AFC, and make no mistake, the Chiefs should be the favorite, I would go with the Buffalo Bills. Now, are there reasons why Bills fans should be a little bit nervous? Certain. You haven't won a playoff game since 1995. Josh Allen last year in the playoffs, different player, different quarterback, but he's advanced to an entirely different level right now. In fact, I think Josh Allen is playing this year as one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. And it appears that Aaron Rodgers is now going to be the MVP, but I don't think there's even anybody out there who can argue right now about the 3 best quarterbacks in the NFL. And they are Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes, and Josh Allen this year, right? Just this year. Historically, Aaron Rodgers has been great for a long time. Patrick Mahomes is playing at a different level than most quarterbacks over the past couple of years. The elevation in Josh Allen's game that we have seen this year, particularly in his accuracy, going from around a 58% accuracy passer to around a 68 or 69% accuracy passer, is a really major accomplishment. And so I think as you break down everything in that world, it is worth thinking about whether he can maintain it in the years ahead. And by the way, the addition of Stephon Diggs, who nobody could cover last night on the Patriots. Obviously, the Patriots have issues in their secondary now with Stephon Gilmore. But this was a beatdown, and it was never particularly close. And as a result, I think you have to make the Bills a legitimate threat to win and advance the Super Bowl. Bills Mafia, I think you should be ecstatic. Just consider what they have done since Since the end of November. They have won 5 straight games by double digits. That's a pretty impressive accomplishment. And they've beaten some good teams along the way in winning all those games by double digits. And oh, by the way, the only game they have lost since they lost to the Chiefs way back on a Monday night game in October is, and a lot of you will remember this, the Hail Mary game against the Cardinals, which, frankly, the Bills looked like they had won until that miracle Hail Mary pass. But they have handled the Steelers by double digits, destroyed the Patriots last night. They handled the 49ers on the road in Arizona. This is a team that is rounding into shape at exactly the right time. Now, one of the things that I think is intriguing about where the Bills find themselves right now is, what do they do? Do they care about the 2 versus the 3 seed? Right now, they have the tie break over the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they would be your overall 2 seed, all right? So if they are your overall 2 seed, they would be matched up, if the season were ending right now, against the Cleveland Browns, okay? If they ended up as the 3 seed, they might be matched up against the Baltimore Ravens. There's still a lot of different moving parts here. So interestingly enough, they may have an incentive to beat the Miami Dolphins, but if they do, then they upset all of the different apple cart of who exactly they're going to be matched up against. So I think one of the intriguing questions that's out there for the Bills in particular, because they're in at the 2 seed right now, is almost checking to see what the Steelers are going to be doing. Because if the Steelers decide to rest all their starters, as the expectation seems to be that they would, then the Bills would win the tiebreak if both teams ended up losing. I think if you are the Bills or you're the Steelers, you don't really care about the 2 versus the 3. That's my opinion. I think in a no home field advantage year, does it really matter very much whether you're playing in Pittsburgh or playing in Buffalo? I don't think so. Weather's going to be relatively similar. You know you're going to have to go through Kansas City at some point in time, probably in the AFC Championship game. So I'm not sure that I would want to risk the health of my top players given how good Buffalo is playing going forward. Okay, that's the big takeaway from last night. My top 5 in the NFL right now, the OutKick top 5. We do this every single Tuesday. Sometimes we've had to bump it to Wednesday or Thursday this year because of all the different days games have been played on. I've got the Chiefs as the overall number 1 team out there. All right? I have got the Chiefs as the 1 seed. I have got the Packers as my 2 seed. All right? I think those are the 2 best teams in the NFL right now. I'm still going to slide the Saints right now in as my 3 seed, although I think the difference between the Saints and the Bills is minuscule. Really, I think the Saints have a little bit better defense, which is why I'm going to put them in at the 3rd spot. The Bills' defense has been coming on, but I'm not sure that they have the same caliber of defense they have earlier in the season last year when they were dominant defensively. It's a totally different team than last year. And then I've got the Seahawks as my 5. So my 5 best teams, as you run through them in order, I've got the Chiefs as my 1, the Packers as my 2, the Saints as my 3, the Bills as my 4, and then I have got the Seahawks sliding in as the 5th best team in the NFL. How would you assess that top 5 dub? Good top 5, bad top 5? What would your analysis be?
It's tough to even imagine another team that you could argue to be in the top 5. I think the top 2 especially belong there. The top 4, I think, is another separation between 4 and 5 with Buffalo and Seattle. And the funny thing about Seattle, their defense is absolutely on fire right now.
Playing incredibly well.
And when you look back in time, 6 or 8 weeks ago, I don't think Russell Wilson's going to get a single MVP vote. If you would have said that to anybody 8 weeks ago, people would have laughed at you and called you crazy. But I think that streak's going to continue just because of Mahomes and Allen and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's interesting because one of the fascinating things about the evolution of Josh Allen is we knew coming into this season Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are different level caliber quarterbacks. I think the idea that anybody would have argued, hey, you know who the 3rd best quarterback is going to be in this entire season? Josh Allen. I think if I had come on and given you that prediction, many of you out there would have said that's an absolutely insane prediction. I think almost everybody out there listening right now would say, you know what? Josh Allen is clearly one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league this year as we roll into the playoffs.